I've just realised we're not live.
Oh my god, that was creepy. I was like,
No,
which James is real?
No,
He's a
I've
trans.
just realised. No, we've been talking. I didn't realise we wasn't live.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my
I'm
god.
serious.
Oh well, now we're live. Thank you. Anyone joining us live? We were just putting over transfers.
We've been talking for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, one of the sleeper hits from the early days of Empire.
If Renee was here right now, stop drinking, James.
Yeah, oh, he'd be playing
pissed
with the picture by now. So yeah, but I highly recommend Trancers. Yeah, Tim Thomerson's great. Art LaFleur's in it as well. He's like the angry chief. Helen Hunt. It's just like Empire Pictures and then Full Moon, but like they really, I mean, the sci-fi fantasy and then horror, kind of horror fantasy. Like, I mean, those were some of the best films. That's all really part of my childhood, and yeah, I highly recommend it. They also did like the Subspecies series, which is definitely more into kind of the vampire fantasy bit. They just released, I think, Subspecies 4 or 5 or something. It's also like Ted Nicolau. And they shot that, I want to say, in Romania or Bulgaria. They shot it just recently and it just came out. But that's another one of those franchises from the early days of Empire that is still going strong. But in terms of should they make another Transfer or should they remake Transfers? That's one of those franchises you just kind of leave it alone, let it just stay in that realm of lovely magic and charm that it has, because I just see, if it was being remade today, it just, I mean, we all see, we saw what kind of happened with Critters when they came out with that not too long ago. It isn't the same. Hell, even the Puppet Master, you can't even say reboot, but just kind of the fresh take on Puppet Master that was put out not too long ago was, not one of my favorites. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I think I've only ever seen I've seen reviews of all the Puppet Masters, but I think I've only ever watched the first one.
Okay. In terms of Puppet Master, I think the first 5 are really pretty solid. I think the third one is the best. It's kind of more of a prequel and deals a lot with like the Nazis, and there's been like an ongoing kind of sub thorough line with like Nazis. I mean, it kind of delved into Egyptian magic for like part 4 and 5, in terms of like that's where this serum that Andre Toulon obtained, but more consistently than the Egyptian stuff, it delves a lot with like Nazis, especially like later on the more recent versions, which I think are really subpar. But the first 5 are worth a watch because they still had David Allen doing their stop motion animation. He was he came from like the Ray Harryhausen camp, so he had worked with like Ray Harryhausen. But when David Allen passed away unexpectedly, he had an illness. Maybe it was cancer. I'm not really sure. Fuck cancer. But that kind of coincided with them losing their association with Paramount Studios, who is really, I mean, that was kind of like peak Full Moon when they had their relationship with Paramount Studios, which is funny too, because like Puppet Master 1, I mean, they have like the core set of puppets, right? You think like Blade obviously would be kind of the forefront, kind of the more popular of the characters. Pinhead, which is like really jacked. Jester. Jester doesn't like kill anybody. He just has like the spinning face, and his facial expressions kind of set the tone or the mood of where the puppets are at. And you have Tunneler, who has like the drill on his head. Then we would see Torch come along. And there were a lot of puppets that you would kind of see on the fringe and in the background, but that's kind of like the main core. I think I actually have, yeah, I have this shirt actually, which is pretty awesome. But
cool.
Yeah, so that kind of shows the kind of the main 4 or 5, I should say. There's Torch at the bottom middle, but then on the side you'll see Leech Woman. She was one of the most popular, and there was an executive at Paramount after the first film who was like, "We love this, we love Puppet Master, but we don't like Leech Woman, so get rid of her." So you'll see kind of what they did in response to that at the beginning of part 2. But yeah, after David Allen died, it kind of became more of like single, like these rod puppets, and it just without that stop motion, it just lost so much of its magic. And then later on, as their budget would fall out from losing the Paramount deal, a lot of their films would just be retreads, and they would use a lot of footage from previous movies, and that would make up like half of this like new movie. It's kind of crappy. And then there was an unofficial Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys film. I think that was made by Sci-Fi Channel. It was like a made-for-TV movie, and they had your boy Corey Feldman as like Robert Toulon. I think he's like the great nephew of Andrew Toulon, and Vanessa Angel's like the big villainous heel in that film. So yeah, check all these movies out. People are like, why do you know all this?
You're CineMarks. Hi everyone again. I forgot to press live earlier. We've been live for about 17 minutes now, but I forgot to actually click live.
This is transfers right here. Right. So this is a great book. This is like one of my favorite reads. I'll reread it and reread it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I have something else somewhere over here, some sort of Charles Band book somewhere. But yeah, these are the films that I grew up on, amongst many others. But did you have video stores yet? Like when you were, I mean, you're not that much younger than I am, but you had.
No, we had Blockbusters, and you had like your private ones, like mom and pop shop ones. So I do miss going to a Blockbusters on a Friday. Like I used to remember it was like religious, like religion. Finished school on a Friday, used to pop down to a Blockbusters with my parents, pick 2 or 3 videotapes and watch them over the weekend, take them back on the Monday. I do miss them days, I'll be honest.
Yeah, they were great. What was like? So you had like a go-to section.
Horror.
Yeah, same here.
Horror,
action, martial arts, and there was that private room at the back of the video store that was like 18 and up. Okay, so you had that same thing, right?
Dad, what's in there?
Yeah. No, that's not for you. Like, oh, what is that? I want to go there. What's the thing? Sometimes it was a curtain. I
remember. So over here in the UK, I know. By the way, everyone, thanks for joining us again. It's a quick Q&A episode. So if you've got any movie questions, pop them below and we'll get through them. Now I remember. So over here in the UK, I don't know if you was aware of it. We had a thing called Page 3.
Page 3.
Yeah. So you get the newspaper, and it'll be like the Page 3 girls. It'll be someone topless, basically. And
Sunday Star.
Sorry,
it's like in the Sunday Star or whatever that.
Yeah, like all of them basically.
Okay.
And shit, I must have been like 10 or 11, and I was looking, and so my dad's had like some newspapers in the car or whatever. So I remember opening, I was looking at it, and I was like 10 or 11, and my dad caught me, and he was like, Well, at least I know you like girls. so, yeah, I'll never forget it.
Oh my God. That's, yeah. See how that'd be a relief. Most
Cody
probably.
Duffy, best found footage film, or to paraphrase that, has there been any good found footage movies?
I mean, I think a lot of people would point to Blair Witch as kind of being the one that really started the resurgence. I don't think it's the first found footage. I mean, it very well might be. It's certainly the one.
Probably the first popular one.
Yeah, it's
Because
definitely one that really went mainstream.
a lot of
And
people was convinced it was real.
yeah, my parents thought it was real. I didn't know what to think, and I enjoyed it for a first watch because it was very different. But it's not, found footage is not my thing. It's not really my go-to style of movie, just because it can get kind of nauseating. I think I
Are you
actually
saying you're not a fan of Hellraiser Revelations?
only Hellraiser Revelation. Yeah, that one's that's got parts of found footage. That's like footage that was recorded on a cell phone. I think they maybe shot that in Mexico in like a week or
Well, yeah, it was
something.
to keep the rights, wasn't it?
Yeah, as they call it,
Basically.
I think, and it's an ashcan entry, which is like what you call an entry into a franchise that was made. It was kind of spat out quickly, just to maintain the rights to that franchise. So, from what I met, Dimension Films was, I guess their rights were coming up, and they needed to spit something out, and so they put
Sure
out
did.
the Revelations with like a mini Pinhead, and probably
Oh,
the
that's
worst
terrible.
of that whole series. It doesn't even, no Doug Bradley. I mean, it's just not. It's, yeah. You can see why Clive Barker kind of distanced himself from that whole thing after, um, maybe after part 2. I'm not sure he liked part 3, and I know he definitely probably didn't like part 4.
I like 3
So
and 4.
I do too. I saw both of
I
those
like
in
the
the
first
cinema.
4.
Yeah, same
Well,
here.
4,
I mean, they were all the ones that came out theatrically.
because I know 4, and I think you're friends with the screenplay guy, ain't you?
Yeah, good buddy,
Yeah,
and he's a great guy. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him on here at some point to talk
yeah. I
about
mean,
his creations.
definitely. Because am I right in saying? I mean, he'll be able to confirm it, but I'm pretty sure with part 4, Bloodlines, it was the studio who wanted Pinhead front and center, but they wanted what the people making the movie actually wanted to tell their own story and have Pinhead at the end. But like,
Yeah, the Weinsteins. I think mainly Harvey Weinstein, but yeah, that was Kevin Yager. It was his directorial debut, and might have been his one and only uh, feature. He was, he did a lot. He did the makeup on, like, I want to say even Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but like on 3, he did Chucky, like the original Child's Play. Like Kevin Yeager, he actually ended up. I think he married the mom from Child's Play. They met on Child's Play, and they ended up.
oh right,
Yeah, I actually had the pleasure of being in the makeup chair with Kevin Yeager. This is over 10 years ago, a long time ago. I did a pilot for Dana Carvey, Wayne's World fame, but there was this thing called Dana Carvey's Spoofs, and I was done up to be like this pirate that he was gonna swashbuckle and sword fight on the beach, and not the best sword fighter, that Dana Carvey, but funny guy. But I was looking at the call sheet, and I saw Kevin Yeager on the makeup. I thought, there's no freaking way. Oh my God. And sure enough, it was him. And I was like, oh my God, you've
nice.
given me a lot of nightmares. He's like, oh, which one? Like Freddy, Chucky. He's just very cool guy. But that was his directorial debut. And I think that's one of the last, if not the last, films credited as Alan Smithy. which is like an old industry
Pseudonym. Yeah.
device, where like a director takes his name off of the project and doesn't want anything associated, just like it's not mine anymore, or like I don't want my name on this. So they credit it as Alan Smithy. And that's because they wanted a ton of Pinhead. They were like, we need more Pinhead, more Pinhead, more Pinhead. As they were trying to really make it, this kind of Freddy like pop culture character. But he really he thought less Freddy. It's similar like the shark. You see way too much of the shark in Jaws. It's not as terrifying. It's also my gripes with these new Halloween movies, which I think are abysmal. Say what you will about them. A lot of people really love them, but I think it's just, we don't need a tracking shot of Michael walking down the street, turns, looks inside a house, sees a lady walking down towards the house, lady leaves the frame, Michael walks in, picks up a knife. It's like, there's two. You're not supposed to see like what Michael scratching his ass, and he's got an itch, and like he looks in his candy basket. No, he's looking for a Twix. No, he wants an Almond Joy. Like, get fucked. Like it's just this too much. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. So, less is more, as we say in the wrestling business. Less is more.
Speaking of less is more, have you watched Fast X? If so, what do you think of it? I love it for the action. I watched Fast 9 yesterday. I've seen all of them now.
Except Fast X. You haven't seen Fast X?
I haven't seen X yet.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's amazing to think this series started out about, illegal car racing gang stealing DVD players.
And now they're Interpol agents saving the world from terrorists. And
Dominic Toretto is a superhero. I don't care what anyone says. He's a superhero. Even Roman, who's played by Tyrese. And it's like, it was kind of like meta. It was like he was speaking for the audience. He's like, this ain't right. Like, we do all these things and it's not a scratch on us. And it was kind of like meta commentary. Like, he was actually speaking for the audience. But just a couple. So John Cena's in Fast 9. And I think he's going to be in Fast X. He's Dominic Toretto's
brother of Vin Diesel. Like Vin Diesel's character.
He's a long lost brother of Vin Diesel's character, who you've never heard about for 8 movies. So
Each family.
It's family. He says the line at the end. But so there's a part, there's a few. I've never had such a better time watching a movie because I was pissing myself watching this film.
Just because it's so ridiculous, so absurd, right? I mean,
a couple of parts, right? So John Cena's on top of this big fucking truck thing, and he's fighting this what's the name of the guy now? Martin something. He's an English guy, big bald guy, tattoos. What's it called now? I'll remember. Anyway, he's fighting him. So he falls off this truck thing. They're going about 70 or 80. Vin Diesel's following him. He sees that Cena's going to fall off the fucking truck onto the road. So there's a car in front of Toretto. Toretto crashes into this car to go forward for Cena to land on, to come off and like survive. There's a part where there's a
clip of just that scene you talked about. For some reason, I saw a clip of just that on some feed, and it was like, how did we get here? Like, what is this? And I thought, I am so glad I've only seen the first 3 of these movies, and that's it.
So you've seen Tokyo Drift?
Yeah, it's one of the best ones, man. You kidding me? Was it Lucas Black?
Well, yeah. So he's in it. So is Bow Wow and one of the young Japanese guy who was with him. So
right.
Well, now they're rocket scientists, and they've got, I forgot the car, it's like a Toyota or something, and they've strapped like a rocket on this car. So fucking Ludacris and Tyrese is in the car. They're attached to like a fucking fighter jet airplane what's being flown by fucking Lucas Black and the Japanese guy.
Black is in part 9.
He's in part 9. He's a
And
rocket
Bow
scientist
Wow.
now. And Bow Wow, the rocket
Oh, so you
scientist.
were being serious. You weren't. I thought you were being sarcastic.
No, I'm being serious. So they fly in near the atmosphere. They let go. So Tyrese and Ludacris flies his car into space. They're in space, and they have to crash into a satellite. So they turn on like the nitrous oxide to crash into a. I'm being serious. I joked around when they finished part 8. I said next movie to go into space. They legit went to space in a car.
That can't be real. Come on. Jason X is more believable than that shit. Okay, I'll take Jason X over.
I like Jason X.
I do too. Very Canadian. It's the most Canadian of all the Friday the 13th. Oh, you can't call it that.
Renee gets offended when you say that.
That it's something's the most Canadian.
Why? I said to him, I said, me and Paul said, My Believe Valentine is the most Canadian movie. Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
It's just that, the accents come through very heavily, and most of the cast is predominantly Canadian, and Jason X in particular has kind of a sci-fi channel look to it. Plus, it's like the only. Well, it's like it's a comedy. It really is. I mean, it's a comedy. So I love Jason X. Yeah, I'll never see Fast and the Furious. I guess to answer the question, no. Will you see part 10? I won't. I'll never see it.
I'll see it. I will watch it because I've watched the others.
I have like 1,000 films that are in front of that on the list at least.
It's one of them though. I've watched all of them. I'm like, if I start something, I have to finish. Good luck. Rather that be, I've lived through the Hellraiser series. Okay, so I know about at least Fast and Furious. For how stupid it is, it's entertaining. You literally just turn your brain off. If you turn your brain off, you can have a good time watching them movies. I don't care what anyone says.
I can't. It's like watching AEW. I can't. It's just I feel like an idiot watching this. I feel no, I can't. I liked part 2. I like Fast and the Furious 2 with Cole Hauser.
Yeah, he's great in that. Yeah, Too Fast, Too Furious. I love that movie.
Awesome. And then I saw he's one of the main people in Yellowstone, which I don't want to watch Yellowstone, but he's badass. I've always liked Cole Hauser. He was in a. Did you ever see Paparazzi? Yeah, he was in Pitch Black. Also with Vin Diesel. But did you see Paparazzi? Did you see that movie Paparazzi? That was one of his big starring roles as the main guy, and he's basically this movie star who the paparazzi is harassing him and causing these accidents and it's like him versus the paparazzi basically. It's a fun one. I liked it actually. It got, I think, is it Robin Tunney? I think she's
cool.
She plays his wife, and an actor we just recently lost a couple months ago, who always plays a badass. What's his name? I'm blanking on it. We're losing too many of these actors that we grew up loving their roles. Yeah. God, his family took him off life support. You know what I'm talking about?
What movies? Oh, life support.
Yeah, he's Saving Private Ryan. He's
Sniper?
I don't know if he's in Sniper.
No, the guy who was the sniper.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. His name's this blonde man, but he's the main paparazzi scumbag guy.
I didn't know he died.
Yeah, he was in Mimic. Did you see Mimic?
Yeah, I like Mimic. Yeah.
Yeah. So either which way, Paparazzi is a fun, cheesy kind of action adventure movie. But I like,
So
yeah,
we
Fast
got
and Furious 2 I thought was decent. 3 was stupid, but in a fun, stupid way, but not really my thing, man. Car racing and all that
Oh,
stupid
I mean, I
shit.
was I was man on car racing growing up, but yeah. So we got a couple of people asking the same question here, from Jose and from Team Man. What's your favorite Cena and Batista movie?
Favorite Batista movie? Wrong Side of Town, uh, starring Rob Van Dam, and Viscera appears in it as well, and Ja Rule. So if you haven't seen Wrong Side of Town, check it out. It's pretty awesome. It's starring the Randall Reeder, who people would recognize as the cock meat sandwich guy from Harold and Kumar 2, Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Yeah,
Um,
Batista's the best in that. He's in it for like maybe less than 10 minutes, and he's the best part of the movie.
yeah, I mean, if I'd say favorite Batista movie, it's probably a easy answer. Well, probably the simple answer, but I do like him in the Guardians Galaxy. He plays
Yeah,
Drax
of
really
course. I
well.
mean, yeah, he's one of the main players in that. And that was like his mega boost for him,
Yeah,
and he plays that role Drax like so perfectly. You
yeah.
saw the
See,
newest one, didn't you?
I haven't seen the newest one yet.
Okay, I haven't either.
I don't really get to go to the cinema these days, Paul. It's so expensive to go to a cinema. I went to see the Super Mario movie with my family.
Okay,
It
yeah,
just for the tickets alone, it was like £60.
that's so nuts.
Time, you get popcorn and shit. You're looking at nearly £100, like £80 at least. So
Do y'all
expensive.
have do the cinemas out there? Do y'all have like the memberships where you can get like a
You can get
membership,
them. I should
unlimited? You
think,
can watch it if you want or something.
but it's the Odeon cinema chain, and they
Yeah.
are expensive. But there is another chain called Real Cinema. Last time I remember, tickets were like £5 each, but I think there is actually one about 15 miles from us. So if there is, I'm going to start going there. But to be honest, though, like today's cinema is the worst cinema it has been for a long time, and it,
What do you mean in terms of worst cinema? Not just
well,
price. You get the prices
oh
are.
no, films these days is dog shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There. I agree.
There's exceptions. Super Mario movie, fully recommend it. Loved it. It wasn't interested in fucking identity politics or all that shit. It was just a movie about a fucking plumber trying to save his brother. That's all it was
Right.
about. And being faithful to the characters. It was a great movie. I loved it. My kids had the biggest smiles on their
No,
faces.
there's no John Leguizamo cameo at all.
No,
Ah,
that guy's gone crazy. He's gone crazy. But I mean,
Luigi.
yeah, oh, he was Luigi. You
He
had like
plays
Charles.
Luigi in the game.
Oh yeah, you had Charles Martinet have a couple of cameos in it, like the original Mario voice.
Okay. Yeah. 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 But like, who plays Luigi in this new one?
Oh, Charlie from Always Sunny.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's good. They're all good,
Charlie.
perfect cast.
Wow.
Jack Black plays Bowser.
Okay.
I'm sure you've come across the Peaches song. I think is
Yeah.
I think it could actually be up for an Oscar, like best original song. I would love it if it wins.
Yeah, the song was
Uh,
good. I like Anya Taylor Lovejoy. I think that's I think isn't that her name? Lovejoy.
yeah, something like I think it's Joy, but some people call it Lovejoy.
She
She
was
played
great in
Peach.
it.
Seth Rogen was Donkey Kong, and Chris Pratt was
Seth
Mario.
Rogen, Donkey Kong.
He actually played it well, as he said, because he's like how you would imagine Donkey Kong to talk, and he's just a big idiot in it.
So is there a King Koopa?
Bowser.
Oh, that would be Bowser, right? Because
Yeah,
who was that Dennis Hopper, I think, in the original.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
think wasn't Lance Henriksen?
oh, he was like the king, like at the end when he got revealed as the king.
Okay, yeah. Ah,
Yeah, I remember that movie. Let's see. I actually got my son to watch this for the first time the other day.
now
Do you like Ninja?
Remy LeBeau, also known as Gambit, he's talking about the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990. Absolutely, absolutely loved that movie. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. And I didn't know at the time that what would become my favorite actor,
Yeah,
by far, would appear at the end of the movie, with
he's
the
throughout in it.
or regular,
Yeah,
at the end. So the Sam Rockwell cameo at the very end was very cool. There's a masked Skeet Ulrich,
oh, yeah.
as one of the foot soldiers taking the stereo or something, or the stuff out of the back of the van in the alleyway. Elias Koteas, I think, is that how you pronounce his name? As Casey Jones. I thought he's always great in everything I've seen him in.
You make a
Uh,
good Casey Jones.
I would take a stab at it. Definitely better than Splinter, right? You get the voice of Corey Feldman as what, Raphael, I think, isn't
No,
it?
Donatello.
Oh, he's Donatello. Okay,
Yeah,
but also you have, um, for all you fans of Showdown, starring Billy Blanks, you have Ken Scott as Raphael in the suit. So, and he's the main kid in, Showdown. He has a book out. Actually, I have it somewhere. Like Life as a Turtle or something. He talks all about, most of it's about his work on that movie. But
hmm.
um, yeah, I loved the original Ninja Turtles. I can't
The
remember
suits.
the boy who played April. I can't remember, but
Uh, the suits still look good. Like I'm
yeah,
watching
they
it,
look
and
great. Yeah, they look great.
I,
Is it
I don't
Ernie
know if you
Reyes?
ever watched. Sorry.
Ernie Reyes Jr. I think, isn't he? I think he's either in the suit or he's the pizza boy or something. I haven't seen it in so long, but yeah, I agree. The suits look great.
Ah, the Pizza Boy is. I think that's right. It's the Pizza Boy number 2. I think Pizza Boy's number 2.
You never
Yeah,
took, but I think like
Secret of the Use.
the Reyes family, Ernie Reyes Jr. I think they were in the suits as well, or I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, I loved those movies, 1 and 2. I didn't see anything after part 2. Um,
Number 3, they like traveled back in time to, feudal
it's like
Japan.
like samurai type era or something.
Yeah, they travel back in time, and like some of the samurais travel to the present. I know that that's what happened, but I can't remember the movie. But I watched number 1 for the first time the other night for a long time, and obviously we all remember Secret of the Use with Kevin Nash's Super Shredder.
Yeah, and Vanilla Ice.
Go
Come on.
was it Go Ninjas? Is it Go Ninjas? Go Ninjas Go! Go Turtles Go! No, it's Go Ninjas Go! Isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I did
uh,
make the mistake of seeing the recent, like the first of the
oh god,
recent with like Megan Fox, and I thought this is
Hmm.
Transformers, but just like with Ninja Turtles, all CGI'd, and
Yeah,
it just
not the same.
that's what
Not
I'm
the
saying.
same.
Like, leave this stuff alone. Leave this stuff. Create new stuff. Write new
Did you
things.
did you know, right? And I came across it a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I wasn't aware they was making this. No, that's what I was like. First thing, I wasn't aware they was making this. Second thing, who's asked for it? They've made a remake to White Men Can't Jump, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
I'm going to see it.
Why?
And
Like,
it's straight.
leave the original.
It's for streaming.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nope, I'm not gonna watch it.
No.
I don't even know
I
who the
refuse.
hell that rapper is or something, like some white
Oh,
rapper. Don't tell
yeah,
me
I've
the
got no
name.
idea. I got no idea. Like remaking that, they've remade Point Break. They're remaking
Point
fucking.
Break was it was dog shit. That Point Break was absolute.
Oh, I haven't watched it, so
Probably
uh,
probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I'm
Easily.
not surprised.
It's
Um,
fucking hateful. So, but again, you know, you want to make a continuation 20, 30 years later, maybe, bring in some of the
well,
old cast, maybe. But to
well,
remake,
they're remaking Roadhouses, ain't they? With like Jake Gyllenhaal. I saw the promo shots, like they was filming in like the UFC. I'm like, when? What's the name of Swayze's character again?
Dalton,
Dalton. That's it. I'm like, when was Dalton an MMA fighter?
it's so stupid, honestly. It's
They're
just,
just. That's why I said. That's like what I said. Today's cinema, like there is odd exceptions, but I mean, count on one hand odd exceptions. But that's why I don't go to the cinema anymore.
I don't blame you. I mean, in that regard, I don't blame you. And I agree, there's not enough, you know, solid looking films that are coming out that make you want to go and spend that much money to experience it, and it's unfortunate. Just the rise of streaming, everything's gone to streaming, everything's, it's like even that latest Predator movie, Prey, went to streaming, it's for like Hulu, I think, or something. So I don't, a Predator movie should be that theatrical release, in my opinion. But the magic of the cinema is depleting,
I'll
and
tell you what I
it's
did
sad.
watch the other night, and it was put straight onto Amazon. That Air movie about how the Michael Jordan Nike
Oh yeah,
deal
what
came
you think
about.
about that? I've heard good things
I
about it.
actually,
I've
yeah,
seen it.
I actually enjoyed it, and they seem to be the films I'm enjoying the most. Like films, I know a lot of films based on real life events, but film like these kind of films where it's people I actually know. I enjoyed Bohemian Rhapsody, for example, about Freddie Mercury. Um, but Matt Damon's in it, so you know it's going to be good. I think it's him and Ben Affleck's new studio that's producing it. I sent you the video about how the writer made the spec script, and they give them full credit about for it, even though they done some rewrites and stuff. And that's
Yeah,
what they want to do. They said we was given the chance with Good Will Hunting, and we want to try and do that for young writers. And I respect that, and I'm hoping that's a good thing, and I can see them having some success with it. But Matt Damon plays the lead, great in it. Ben Affleck's in it. Jason Bateman, Marlon Wayans, Chris Tucker's in it,
I like
and
Chris. I like Chris Messina a lot. I think he plays like the agent or something.
it's
Um,
good for movie. I recommend it. It's on Amazon. So
but you see, there's like barely. It's not really about like Michael Jordan, right? It's more so about Nike.
no, it's about the deal
Yeah,
because you don't see Jordan at well. You see him, but you don't hear him. Like you see him a couple of times. It's Viola Davis plays like his mother, so that's the main side from the Jordan family. But it's mainly Matt Damon's character because it's about Jordan. It's based on real events, so I don't know how real it is. But what do you call it? He must be just coming out of college, and he's been offered like this contract from say Adidas, and Adidas must have been the top, the top sporting trainer at the time. Fucking sneakers, you guys call them.
no way. I would have thought
So,
it wasn't Converse. I would have thought maybe Converse would
oh no,
be.
Converse was there as well, and it was
Okay.
giving you, that the epilogue was like Nike bought Converse back in later on in like 2013 or whatever it was.
Damn.
So yeah, it was a good movie. I recommend it. But like I said, it's them sort of films I'm enjoying at the minute. There was another film I enjoyed. The Founder with
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that was great. That was a
Uh,
sad movie. I
Yeah,
thought
about
that
the
was
McDonald's.
about is it Richard or something Howard Kroc, I think.
Yeah, they screwed the brothers over.
Ah, that's sad. I've been to
Yeah.
that McDonald's, that original McDonald's before.
Hmm.
They still have like kind of the old sign,
Yeah.
but you know,
Well, they.
imagine if they saw what the menu was now, they would be like, "This was not ever part of the deal. This is not part of our
Yeah.
dream." McRibs,
But,
what?
yeah. But like I said, it's them sort of movies now. What's based on real things. Like they're the films I'm actually enjoying the most now.
Sure.
So, but
Yeah.
anyway, next question. Favorite gangster movies? I love every Scorsese film except The Irishman. Donnie Brasco, also Al Pacino was identical to the guy he portrays. Such a good movie.
I was
Favorite
gonna say I
gangster
was
movie?
talking about Donnie Brasco last night. That's absolutely one of my favorites. I love it. I think it's great. I'm a big Johnny Depp fan as well, but yeah, Al Pacino is amazing in that. And um, I'm not huge on gangster films. I think
I am.
Godfather 2 a little better than 1, but I love Godfather 1. Godfather 3 I think is kind of a bit of a snooze. Not really big on Godfather 3. It's 1 and 2 for me. I never saw God,
Once
what was
Upon a
that
Time in
movie?
America.
No, well, it's been a while since I've seen that, but no, I was thinking of the Public Enemies, I think. Was that the
Yeah,
with like
fucking Al Capone.
yeah, I didn't see that.
I'll tell you a
Yeah,
good one. Because, like, I don't know what it's like for you guys over there, but I love British gangster movies.
Rise of the Foot Soldier.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I'll tell you a good one. It's on Amazon for Gentlemen.
The Gentleman.
Yes, it
Okay.
stars fucking Charlie Hunnam, who was in Sons of Anarchy,
Not gonna
played Jax.
not gonna see it.
Fuck
That's
you,
all you had to say. I won't see
fuck
it.
you.
I would rather watch paint dry than fucking
Go,
Charlie Hunnam
go fuck
brood
yourself.
his way
Great,
through
great.
every goddamn scene. No, not gonna watch it. Sorry, you lost me right off the
No,
bat.
watch it.
Not
He's great.
fuck that. No, he's not.
Hugh Grant's in it, and
Can
Matthew McConaughey is in it.
I just
Uh,
like? Is it possible to just like fast forward around the Charlie Hunnam parts, or is he the main character?
why don't you like Why don't you like him? He's my boy.
He is boring.
He's not boring. Have you
Boring.
seen Sons of
Trying
Anarchy?
to be tough, and he's just like it's just like certain people that again, it's like AEW where you're just like watching these nerds trying to be tough, and you're like, this guy's a
He is
fucking
tough.
dork. He's not tough.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't work for
Watch.
me.
It's good.
I can't do it.
But yeah, I enjoy The Gentleman, Once Upon a Time in America, Goodfellas. It's the obvious one. Casino, Godfather 1 and 2.
Casino's great.
Yeah. It doesn't
Love
get as
Casino.
much love as the others, but I do love it. They're the ones that's top of my list. But there's others as well, what I enjoy. So I haven't watched the series yet, Boardwalk Empire. I need to watch it.
Oh, it's funny. I was just thinking about that today. Because it's a really fascinating time, especially like for Americans. Just the
I'm
whole
obsessed with that time. I am.
yeah, I love Michael Shannon. I think he's great.
Yes, yes.
He's great. And did you ever see the spoof, the gangster spoof Mafia with Jay Moore?
No?
And I'm trying to remember who else was in it. I don't think it was a Zucker Brothers movie. Maybe it was, but it was a spoof of like all these mafia movies, but it's called like Mafia. And I think you'd like it. It's pretty ridiculous.
I'll
It's like
check it out.
it's really funny. Yeah. It's just not my
Uh,
go-to genre. gangster films.
Yeah, it's it's like over time. It's like growing up, I wasn't the biggest fan of war movies, but now I love war movies.
Yeah.
Your tastes change. It's like your food. Your tastes change as you get older. It's like I said, the films what I'm watching now, which I enjoy, I would never have enjoyed them movies when I was younger, but now they're my favorite type of movies at the minute.
Do you like Band of Brothers?
I've never watched that, but I have to.
Oh, dude.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's so fucking good.
I
Oh
always
my God.
because I like Black Hawk Down, and I make the joke for name an actor, and that person's in Black Hawk Down. Everyone's in
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down. Ewan McGregor, Josh Hartnett, fucking
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom,
You
Tom
would
Hardy's in
love,
it.
you would love Band of Brothers. It's so good.
Yeah. I think no, Tom Hardy's in Band of Brothers, isn't he? Yeah.
No.
No, he must
Oh,
be in Black Hawk Down then.
no. Donnie Wahlberg is in it.
Right.
It's got a ton. It's got a lot of people in it. Yeah, it's really solid. My dad showed it to me, and I really loved it. But you know, there's a war. I got a war movie for you. Now I'm blanking on the name. Jesus Christ. It's not Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn and your boy John Leguizamo. Casualties of War. Casualties of War. This movie is so underrated. I think it was written by David Rabe, actually, who's like one of my favorite playwrights. And it's basically Michael J. Fox is a young. I think John C. Reilly is also in it. And Don Harvey, I think, is in it as well. He appeared in Creepshow 2 in the Chief Woodenhead segment. He also has a little cameo in Die Hard 2. But essentially, Michael J. Fox is a young recruit who gets, or a young, soldier who gets put into this platoon that's led by Sean Penn. And essentially they all, like, the platoon kidnaps a Vietnamese girl when they're raiding a village, and they kidnap this Vietnamese girl and keep her alive and keep her prisoner so they can just like keep raping her. And Michael J. Fox is the only one who's not, he's like not with it. He's like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, this is wrong. And it's intense. It's really intense. And you see one of Sean Penn's most underrated roles. I mean, he's everyone's amazing in this film, but you see a completely different side of like Michael J. Fox too. And I highly recommend it. Casualties of War. That's definitely one to check out. It's phenomenal. Great score as well. But yeah, I mean, you have like, Platoon and Apocalypse Now, obviously. The funny thing, did you ever hear that rumor like Apocalypse Now, how like Marlon Brando refused to be on set with Dennis Hopper?
I've heard that with Marlon Brando in like any movie.
Yeah.
The island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh yeah. Well, in his defense for Moreau, I want to say his daughter, I think, had just died right before he was supposed to make that movie. Either his daughter or his son. He lost a child right before he was supposed to shoot that. But that Moreau has an insane documentary as well.
Yeah.
Because it was like originally supposed to be directed by Richard Stanley. And so if y'all look up Richard Stanley Dr. Moreau documentary, it's like In the Face of Darkness, or it's something. Maybe
I've seen a few like YouTube things about it, and
awesome.
Val Kilmer and all of them. Like,
well, yeah, it's awesome. It's so crazy, you know. And, like Ron Perlman was in Moreau, and what's his name?
Oh,
God,
fucking English guy.
the heel from John Wick 3.
I ain't seen John Wick 3 yet. Oh no, I've seen John Wick 3. Fucking
Mark Dacascos, he's in it. Like they're all under
oh, really?
makeup,
Right.
you know, in smaller kind of roles, all under makeup. But yeah, check out this Island of Dr. Moreau documentary. It's bonkers. Like it's so crazy. One of the best documentaries I've ever seen. Fairuza Balk. Yeah, it's awesome.
Favorite bad movie, both of you. I've got mine, and we're gonna review it one day.
Are we? What, Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Hell yeah! I watched it today. It's fucking great. I do not care what anyone says. That film is so bad, it's good. How if you can't enjoy Brian Thompson's Shao Kahn, then you don't have a soul.
I just watched a clip this morning of the first Mortal Kombat, and it was the fight scene between Scorpion and Johnny Cage.
Yeah,
that starts out in like the Thailand forest or something, and then it like they go through the portal and end up in like the underworld or whatever. I forgot how bad that CGI was in that movie. Like really bad. You know, like we're talking.
It's not as bad as Annihilation. Just to make it.
I agree.
They got that the green scheme behind them. You can still see the white outline on them.
Oh God, is that James Greenlaw taking over taking over as Raven?
Yeah, I actually speaking of that Johnny Cage fight, I actually interviewed Chris Casamassa, who played Scorpion.
Who does he play again? He plays
Scorpion.
Oh, he was the one who played Scorpion. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that fight, so they start off in the forest. Originally, when they first shot the movie, that fight finished when Johnny Cage kicks him in the forest.
That's right.
And it was that one, and near the end where Liu Kang gets reptile in the wall, and he throws him down. Originally, that finished there when Liu Kang like kicks him and like squashes him. So the fans, when they screen tested it, was like, you know, we enjoyed the movie, but it's not enough fighting. So that's why when Scorpion Johnny Cage fights in the Netherrealm, like the other world, I'm a massive Mortal Kombat fan. They had to shoot that, and I did actually, and same with the reptile fight and Liu Kang, that was completely like after it was filmed. So I asked Chris Casamassa about it. I said, "Did you get paid? Did you get paid extra for it?" He went, "Hell yeah."
Oh, nice. Well, I think Robin Chu, who played Liu Kang, they brought him back, or they upped his responsibility. I think he was one of the fight coordinators, and
he was number 2.
But isn't he Liu Kang? He's Liu Kang in the original, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Liu Kang, and the only 2 people to return the same roles as him and Talisa Soto as Katana.
Okay.
Everyone else is a new cast.
Yeah, I think like that was also part of it. Was they beefed up that second fight scene in that underworld? Yeah. I think a lot of that was like Robin Chu's involvement.
Well, they brought in Keith Cook to play Reptile in the original, so they brought him in to do the fight with Liu Kang. He did return for Annihilation, but he played the younger Sub-Zero.
Yeah. Okay.
So
of the Johnny Cage, I think I want to say J.J. Perry is his stunt double in the original. Yeah, J.J. Perry's amazing martial artist, now big action director as well, and
he played Sub-Zero in the Conquest TV series.
Was that the one from Machinima that had like Casper Van Dien?
No, No, was made by Threshold, who made the movie. So this was out in the late 90s, early 2000s. Well, it was one season, but it was set during the Great Kung Lao's era, but he played Sub-Zero in it. And I think Chris Casamassa came back for that as well, actually, as Scorpion.
Damn.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a massive MK fan.
What do you
They
think of
announced
the new? See the newer ones.
the new movie.
There's only
Fights are
one.
good.
They're making another one though, I think, right? Aren't they making a sequel to it or something?
The making a sequel. Apparently, saw there the fucking casted fuck. Oh man, my guy from New Zealand. He's in The Boys. He's in fucking Jason Bourne.
Oh, Keith Urban.
Keith Urban. Yeah, I think he's playing Johnny Cage.
That's wild. That doesn't. I wouldn't think that at all.
He's not my
Right.
pick, but I'm
For
like, he's a great actor.
A character based on Jean-Claude's Frank Duke's Bloodsport represent. And by the way, it was Tom Sizemore, rest in peace. That's who I was trying to think of was
Yes.
the lead the lead villain in Paparazzi. But, yeah.
Yes.
I
mean, no, I mean, if I suppose the obvious choice to play Johnny Cage for me would have been Chris Pratt, but I can't imagine they've got a big budget. That's it.
I'd rather see Keith. Yeah, I'd rather see Keith. He's just
Carl Urban.
Or Carl Urban. Keith Urban. That's the country singer. Keith Urban.
Keith Urban is. Didn't they try to buy TNA?
You know who would make an interesting. Speaking of the boys, I mean, I think who would have made a really good Johnny Cage, or a great Johnny Cage, actually, would be Jensen Ackles. I think he would have been fantastic, actually, as a Johnny Cage.
There's talks. A lot of fans want it. There's talks that he could be the new Batman.
Jensen Ackles?
Yeah, and I think it'd be perfect because he's the right age, because they're on about bringing in like Damian Wayne into it. So you want a Batman who's in his early 40s, and that's the age he is, like Jensen Ackles. I'm a big Jensen Ackles fan. I'm a big Supernatural fan, so I would love to see it happen. And I haven't seen... Sorry?
Did you say Damon Wayans?
No, Damian Wayne. He's like Bruce Wayne's kid.
Oh, right. We see him. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Oh, that's weird. I was like, what are they going to do with Damon Wayne?
Well, he was originally going to be fucking
Robin, right?
Wayans. Marlon was going to be
Robin.
Yeah, and Batman Returns, but
I don't want anything to do with Damon Wayans after all the drama he caused on Lethal Weapon TV series.
I haven't watched it.
The actor playing Riggs, like that's the only real reason to watch that show.
Isn't it Stifler?
No, he took over, but in a different role. He didn't take over the Riggs role.
Right.
But no, the first season was awesome. Second season apparently was, I mean, I saw a little of the second season, really good. But yeah, if you do your research on that, all the behind the scenes drama, you'll see that Damon Wayans killed that show.
So, chance to get any cult classic actors on the live? Yeah, it's all about scheduling.
It's in the works. Yeah, it's all about scheduling, but it's in the works.
There's someone who did actually reach out to us after we put our first episode out, who said he'd like to come on. So when we get our schedules sorted out, I know I can get that guy on straight away. And I would love to get a lot of the actors and actresses from Elm Street series on the show. I reckon I can, because a couple of them follows me on Instagram.
Nice.
So and obviously you've got your connections.
Yeah, I'll start looking through the Rolodex. So be patient, T-Man.
We'll get there. With the new camera setup, James, looking good.
Right? Sweet Coco's in the nightmare realm as well. Like, what's real? What isn't? The blurry background.
Let's see. Can't believe. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up on some already.
I would
I'm
ask you
guessing
what you thought about the movie I recommended yesterday, but I want to
I
save
haven't had
it.
a chance to watch it yet.
Okay, good. I was gonna
I-
watch it after this, just rewatch it because I absolutely love it. But I'm not sure if we'll cover that one for the next or not. But it's a movie I highly recommend it, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll see. But
Anakin, what do you think to the upcoming Indiana Jones movie? Don't watch it. Don't do it. Why?
I'm not
Just
gonna-
why? Why?
exactly.
You know,
Did they not learn their lesson from Crystal
Crystal
Skulls
Skull.
and CGI monkeys and swinging and
They're
like?
just the only two franchises from my childhood that hasn't been destroyed yet is Back to the Future and Gremlins.
Great. Thanks for putting it out into the universe because now we're probably going to see both of those.
Oh, I know they want to remake Back to the Future, but there's a lot of opposition against it. Let's get Tom Holland. Let's get Tom Holland as Marty McFly. No, how about we fucking don't? Just leave it alone.
God. Ah.
And that's nothing against Tom Holland, right? Good work as Spider-Man. Not my favorite Spider-Man, but he does a good job. But I just don't want them to ruin Back to the Future. It is a time.
They were going to remake Escape from New York.
Yeah, thank God they haven't touched that yet.
Yeah, don't Carpenter stuff. Like it's bad enough. We've already seen like this recent shit show of Halloween movies. Like, just leave the Carpenter stuff alone. You want to remake a John Carpenter movie? Remake Ghost of Mars. Okay, like touch that. Go ahead. You can have Ghost of Mars. Did you see the Fog remake from like way back when with Superman in it with Tom Welling in it?
I haven't seen them yet. The Fog movies.
The originals are fun to watch.
I think I did see a little bit of the remake with Tom Welling actually.
Make Christine? No, don't touch Christine. I think maybe they could do a TV movie of it, but you know what's badass? I'll show you. Hold on.
Forgotten MMA. Why can't you super chat? Because we haven't opened up super chats. So just send in a question, dude. Make the most of these questions while they're free, because we will be monetizing this channel.
Gary is amazing. I didn't see the remake. I have it on here. This is three disc, whatever.
I've seen the remake.
But have you seen The Rage? Carrie 2.
I haven't seen The Rage.
Oh, no. Dude. With that question, what's one of your favorite bad movies? It's not horrible. It gets a bad rep, okay? Like, it does. I have a guilty pleasure of The Rage, Carrie 2. But to answer that other question of terrible favorite movie, traditionally I would say Troll 2. It's a little overdone. Like everybody knows about Troll 2 now, best worst movie. And I've seen it so many times, I pretty much have it memorized. This is said for The Room. Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Again, super over.
Have you seen The Disaster Artist with James Franco?
Yeah, really loved it. Loved it.
I loved it. It's a good movie.
I dug it. And it's funny too, because there's like that weird rumor circling back to the full moon stuff. There's that weird rumor that because like Greg Sestero, one of his first, if not his first starring role when he was a struggling actor, the guy who played Mark, who Baby Franco plays Greg Sestero. He's the one who wrote The Disaster Artist, the book.
That's right.
That the movie's based on. And James Franco read the book before he had ever seen The Room. So, yeah, that's really what got him hooked, because he was also a struggling actor back in the day, in like the late 90s. But anyways, Greg Sestero's like first starring role was in, I want to say it was like Puppet Master 7,
Well,
maybe 6. It was retro.
Was like, what a way to debut in the 7th installment of the series.
It was like the sixth. It was Retro Puppet Master, and he plays young Ani Wan. I guess he got the role because he can do like a French accent because he's got French heritage. And they, but like you're flying over to like Bulgaria or something to shoot this movie. Like that's exciting. I don't give a shit like what the movie is. Like that's exciting. As like a young guy.
Well, fuck, man. That's what fandom does these days. Like they film in like Romania and stuff. Like a lot of the martial art movies, they film in like Romania. Like Scott Adkins. Well, Scott Adkins now hopefully he's finally got it, getting the recognition after doing John Wick 4. He seems like he's finally going to get on the cusp of great things now.
I hope so. But before I forget, so Retro Puppet Master, Greg Sestero, his like first big starring role. The rumor is that the other young actor that was up for that role, who he beat out, was James Franco.
Oh, wow.
Funny enough, yeah. So pretty ridiculous, right?
That's amazing how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they shoot, and everything's it's more affordable to shoot, in Eastern Europe or overseas somewhere. Like I think the last two Chainsaw Massacre movies were all shot in like Romania. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, why don't you just shoot it in Texas? Like, are you kidding? No, a Texas Chainsaw movie should never be shot anywhere except in Texas, right? The third one, Leather, is a slight exception. I get it, but that was shot like in the shadow of Magic Mountain outside LA and like Newhall. So I get it. And that was a New Line Cinema's first. That was New Line Cinema doing that. That's why they did say Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just called Leatherface. But yeah, all the Texas Chainsaw movies that were shot in Texas, I think, are the best ones. And yes, that also includes Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out. It's ridiculous. That might be my favorite bad movie. I'll just use that as my answer. It's so ridiculous with like the Illuminati storyline squeezed in there at the end or subplot. It's pretty ridiculous, but it's awesome Matthew McConaughey stuff. Like it's so good. He plays a great madman. So
speaking of bad movies, favorite Hulk Hogan movie?
Oh my god,
Suburban Commando, dude.
Yeah, that and No Holds Barred. It's tough. I never saw. Was it Three Ninjas? I think Escape from like Witch Mountain.
No, yeah, it's like Thunder Mountain, like Battle at Thunder Mountain or something like that.
The Three Ninjas movie, right?
Yeah, man. It's like like I remember the first three. So you had Three Ninja Kids, you had Three Ninjas Kicks Back, Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, and then they started doing like Three Ninjas at Thunder Mountain. But like they kept changing the kids, I think, in every other movie. But I think that was the first one where none of the original kids. I think fucking James Van, is it James Farvey? Ernest, do you remember the Ernest movies?
Oh yeah, James Varney.
Yeah, I think he plays the villain. He's got like a mustache.
He's amazing. I could totally see that.
I like James Farney. Yeah, I love him. Rest in peace.
Like the creeper mustache.
Something like that. Yeah, I haven't watched some Ernest movies for fucking years.
I haven't watched Hogan movies either.
The 90s. Oh, good. Let's get some more here.
Hogan will make any more movies? Like that would be like if he made something now, like I'd probably watch it, right? Just for fucking.
I mean, just check out his recent adult movie with Bob the Love Sponge Mrs.
I did see that one actually.
Oh, I tried to I'm like not Hogan. I can't do it. I can't picture it. The wife was all right, but yeah, good.
Uh,
Peach, fucking hell, we're backlogged on these questions. Peaches is basically a Tenacious D song. It is pretty
true.
much.
True.
Um,
And if you like Peaches, I highly recommend not the song but the actress. I highly recommend The Witch. That's the first time I had seen her. A lot of people think it's kind of slow or whatever. It's probably one of the most authentic movies that deals with a witch and the times and it's like pre-colonial era. Like it's like yeah, it's phenomenal. I think it's Robert Eggers. One of his, if not his first, kind of real foray into big cinematic movies. But it's not like a big movie or anything, but just like a supremely film. Yeah, it's called The Witch, and if you like goats, you'll love this. It's creepy. It's really chilling. If you're a fan of like Hansel and Gretel and a lot of these kind of creepy kind of fairy tales, I highly recommend it. Did you see The Witch?
I'll check it out. I'm interested in them sort of things. So, especially like anything with like Hans Christian Andersen sort of influence, like you said, Hansel and Gretel and stuff.
Yeah, it's really creepy. I think you'll be amazed.
We're up to 70 people in the chat, so thank you to every single one of you who's tuning in with us. If you could all hit the like button or subscribe, it would really help us out. So we'll get through a few more. Paul, I don't know how long you've got, but we'll get through a few more before we go. Dead Alive Store. Any love for Predator 2? Always get stumped on, but I think it's a pretty strong.
Absolutely.
Strong in the series.
Love Predator 2. It's the second best of the whole franchise. Name me a better, besides the original, name me a better Predator movie than Predator 2.
I enjoy Predators.
Okay.
But it's not as good as number 2.
It's not as good as number 2. It's the third best.
Yeah. What we got? We got Predators.
Let's rank them. Having not seen Prey.
Let's make a clip. Let's make this a clip. We need the clips. Let's rank the Predator movies. All right. Starting with worst. The Predator.
Starting with worst. Predators.
Wait, 2 seconds. Are we including the Alien Feed Predator movies?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we are. And Predators was worse than both of those.
Requiem?
Yes. Even though you can't even see Requiem because it's shot with like cell phone lights. It doesn't even have lights. It's like their Duracell batteries died on their flashlights. There's the most poorly lit film I've ever seen in my life. You can't see.
The Predator is a fucking stupid movie.
The Predator, but I mean, Predators is worse. It's so dumb, and it has like Charlie Hunnam's American counterpart, Boyd Holbrook. Sorry. Fucking terrible. Fucking terrible.
The most stupid part, I mean, there's a few stupid moments. One of the most stupid moments is
but
I mean, there's a few, but you know when he's sat in the bar and he goes to send some shit off and you can hear the scripts coming after him. So he swallows the invisibility ball. I'm like, why not just use it?
Because if I swallow it, I'm such a badass. I'll swallow this fucking thing, and then I can just kind of like twist my stomach around, and I can control it with my insides. Like what? How did he have control over it once you swallow it? At least if you have it in your hand, you can like fiddle around with it, or you shove it up your ass so you can shit it out and fucking fiddle with it and Rubik's Cube that bitch, and then you'll figure out like, oh, this is how I turn invisible. But to swallow it. Like, oh God!
I mean, because like, so the plot of the Predator is that this super alpha predator essentially wants autism because apparently autism is the next stage of evolution. As the father of an autistic child, it is not, unless they want fucking social anxiety. I don't know.
The fact that kid could he just knew how to do all this futuristic science weaponry. Like he figured, there's not a single redeeming quality to Predators at all.
There isn't.
Right?
Like,
you add Olivia Munn and
Thomas Jane is got Tourette's.
Thomas, yeah, it's like, oh, Thomas Jane, I love Thomas Jane. I'll check it out, but he's got Tourette's, and he's saying this pussy line, and oh, Keegan Michael Key, oh, I love Key and Peele, but then they try to squeeze in this comedy thing, and then the way those two end up is basically a Key and Peele sketch at the end. It goes one of the worst films I've ever seen. Horrible. And then hey, let's get Jake Busey in here as the son of his dad's character from Predator 2, and we won't do anything with him. We'll just show him, and then that's it. Nothing. And the fact that was written, dude, I get so mad. You don't understand. I had
Shane Black.
Yeah, I'm all right. There's some promise here, Shane Black. I think he worked on the. I think he wrote Lethal Weapon, or did a couple of the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah,
he helped do some of the rewrites on the original Predator. He's Hawkins, I think, in Predator. He's one of the, right, and so I thought, okay, this has one of the OGs. This is going to be good. No, don't ever do anything. But one of his best movies, is not the other guys. God, what's it called? It's got Russell Crowe and Ken from the Ken and Barbie movie. What's his name?
Oh, Gosling.
Yeah, it's got Ryan Gosling and Ryan Gosling. Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I think I know the film, but I forgot the name. But I think
that movie is hilarious. That movie is awesome. And he wrote and directed that. Predators is the worst of the franchise by far.
For Predator.
I'm sorry. The Predator. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the worst one.
We're done with that. Okay, so that's the worst.
Requiem. Just because you can't see anything.
You can't see anything, and it's pretty stupid. Oddly enough, Johnny Lewis, who's the main kid in that, ended up going crazy after a motorcycle accident and had really bad kind of brain trauma. Because he appeared in Sons of Anarchy as well.
Oh yeah, he was in Malcolm in the Middle as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he played one of the army cadets. Yeah,
and but yeah, sad story with him. He ended up kind of going.
Did he murder his landlady and commit suicide? Wasn't
it? He married her.
Yeah.
He murdered her. He murdered her cats, I think, or her cat. And then he jumped off the balcony of where he was staying, and it was it was really tragic ending, but really sad. But also Canadian production.
Yep.
Requiem.
Oh, you can tell that when you watch them. Yeah, when you watch that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
it's hard to explain to people. What do you mean when it's Canadian? You can just tell.
Yeah,
you can just tell.
And I like the little cameo from I think it's David Patco, I think, or David Patcaw. He's a Canadian actor. He appears in Final Destination 2 as the first one to get offed. He's the guy who won the lottery.
Oh, with a fucking ladder and he's
yeah. He's the bully in
that's right.
In Requiem. But the idea was neat, you know what I mean? It's on our planet now, and it's crazy, it's crazy, and
And like there was the big hype, the Predalien, what was it gonna look like, and the problem is you couldn't see it.
Yeah. I didn't mind Predator versus Alien,
I
right?
liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's kind of fun. There's one shot in that movie that I think is laughable, and it's towards the end. I don't know if you can guess which one. It's so funny.
So it was the woman.
She's
Is
part
it
of
when,
it.
Yeah, so is it when the guy dies and like she's crying and the Predator's just like looking at her like that?
I mean, that is funny, but no. It's like anyone who's ever seen the 1966 Batman TV series where Batman and Robin are running towards the camera, like
Yeah.
yeah, when she's running side by side with the Predator in slow motion, I was just like,
And she's keeping up with it.
just that they're both running like together,
Yeah.
like it's like it's so ridiculous. It's so funny. But I thought that was
Lance Henriksen in it though.
Lance Henriksen's great, you know, reprising or like as the Bishop Whalen, like
There's so many fucking Whalens now.
But he's playing like the actual
Wayland
guy who the Bishop android was modeled after.
Yes.
Right? I don't count the Ridley Scott Alien
shit.
Those are horror. I can't do that. I can't. Those don't. Nope.
They're stupidly bad.
Terrible. So, but we're talking Predator here, right? So then I would say before, like, then from Alien versus Predator, you would say what? Predators?
What are we saying? Predators or Prey?
I haven't seen Prey, so I don't know that we can include it, but I've heard really good things about it, right? And so I would think maybe Predators. Then
I would say, yeah, I think that's fair.
Right?
Yeah, Predators. I enjoyed it. It's hard to take Adrian Brody as a badass, but I mean the guy was ripped in that movie.
I thought he did a solid job.
Topher Grace was like this psycho, and I'm like, really? Topher Grace from that 70s show? I couldn't take him seriously as Eddie Brock and fucking Spidey 3. Venom.
I thought in terms of like an ensemble cast where you're seeing a group and they're getting picked off, I felt like it was the best part of
that movie.
Second to the original. I think it's the best one, second to the original, based on there being, it closely resembling the style and kind of plot of the first one in terms of like a bunch of soldiers or like, badasses getting picked off. I thought it was really solid.
The best part of that movie, there's some good moments in that movie, but the best part, and it was a callback to the original, where Billy was on the bridge waiting for the Predator. It was Ken Watanabe. He's got his samurai.
Yeah. I don't think that was Ken Watanabe. That wasn't. I don't think that was Ken Watanabe. Ken Watanabe's older.
I know, but Ken Watanabe went through a phase. He was in like every fucking movie. Do you remember when, like, it was kind of like that period where everyone thought fucking, the guy from fucking Avatar, Sam fucking something.
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, he was in like everything for like a couple of years and he like disappeared. But Ken Watanabe, I'm pretty sure he was in fucking.
Look it up. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's not him.
I'm pretty sure he was, because he went through a phase. He was in like a lot of movies. Topher Grace.
He was a younger guy.
Walter Goggins was in it as well, for God's sake.
Yeah, Walter Goggins was awesome as the criminal when he jumps up on the back of the Predator and he's like shanking him, and then he gets his out.
Oh no, yeah, right. Louis Asawa Chang Chin. So I'm just racist. Someone's going to clip that now, you fuckers.
Yeah. Jesus.
I am not racist. Derek Mears played one of the Predators. That's pretty.
Yeah, he was one of the Predators. They shot most of that film in Austin because it was produced by Robert Rodriguez. So they shot a good amount of that at Troublemaker Studios and then in like surrounding parts of Austin. There's a scene where they're hiding behind a big waterfall,
Oh yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that was all shot at this place called Hamilton Pool. And Hamilton Pool is like a natural spring pond, like big pond. I mean, it's essentially what you see in the movie, this big water.
Mm,
And I used to go there when I was in high school and hang out and go swimming and stuff. It's like it's such a awesome place,
mm.
and I thought they did a great job of utilizing the Texas landscape and also making it look like this foreign planet, right? I think they shot some of it on in Hawaii as well, but a good chunk of that was shot in Austin.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of work on the Dusk Till Dawn TV series when
Oh
it
really?
first came on. Yeah, and I met Jake Busey, funny enough, because he plays Sex Machine.
Sex Machine. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like they shot when that series first was being done, it was being shot at Troublemaker Studios, and it was really neat to see this studio and seeing a lot of stuff that was used on Predators that was still in the studio, and you could kind of see like how they shot this there. But it was really neat. Yeah, I really liked Predators. I thought Oleg Tartaroff was awesome, and he's got like the big Gatling gun is kind of like a throwback to Old Painless, or what was it name? I think it was like, isn't that the name of the gun that Jesse Ventura had?
Something like that, yeah. It was Lawrence Fishburne's good in it. He plays like a crazy guy. He's
Right,
pretty good in
right.
it. I love Lawrence Fishburne. He's one of my
Yeah,
favorite actors. Doesn't get
I
enough
enjoyed,
like good roles.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I think if there's any gripe for me about Predators, it's like the dogs, like kind of thing. I was like, nah, I could have done without
Well,
that. Like,
there was better. There was better than the other dogs in the Predator.
oh god, yeah, Jesus. Like I
um,
said, the more we speak about the Predator, the better. So then after Predators, by
Prey.
default, I guess you could say Prey.
I
Um,
won't spoil
like
it. It is good.
Prey.
It, yeah, I won't spoil it for you.
Okay, so you have
I've seen it. Yeah, it's on Disney.
okay enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. It's very. It's hard to say it's a throwback to the original because the original is all macho 80s, big guys, big guns, and that. It's not like
Right,
that,
right.
but it's got that kind of feeling like they're being stalked by something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I have a hard time accepting that like uh, a Native American with like very primitive weaponry would be able to take out a predator with advanced.
yeah, I mean, I won't spoil it, but I enjoyed the movie. But the final 10 minutes, I didn't enjoy because it wasn't. I know it's a film, and you can't say, "Oh, it's not realistic." I know it's a movie about a fucking alien, okay, but you'll know when you get a chance to see it. But I do like it. Drawn about, perhaps that's going to be the route going forward for a Predator is going to be in a different time period, like fucking feudal Japan, for example, which would be great.
There's a
Um,
teaser for Predator Dark Ages. I don't know if you've
oh
seen
right,
the fan teaser, but it's like, yeah, like this like medieval knight, and it's like he's suiting up and all this stuff. And yeah, if you look up Predator Dark Ages, I think it's a fan made teaser trailer, but
yeah,
that looks really like that. Like, yeah, I would love to see this. Like that looks really cool.
yeah. I think
Um,
that might be a way to go forward. I mean, I would like to see a Predator film where Predator actually wins. That'd be pretty good.
how Canadian was it? Prey.
Oh, it wasn't Canadian at all.
They shot it in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, they shot it in
Oh yeah,
Alberta.
yeah. I guess so. Yeah, because Renee's family is Renee Dupree. Everyone, we do a podcast with him called Cafe Day Renee. He's like like
I lost your sound.
sorry,
There
I
it is.
just turned it off. Yeah, what are they called in Canada if they're not Native Americans?
Canadian.
Native Canadians.
Yeah, Acadian. Well, it's like French Canadian.
Well, that's Renee's like ancestors, isn't it? That's kind of like where
Yeah,
he
but
comes from.
don't they show like there's French Canadian like
Yeah, that's part of the movie. Yeah,
right? Okay. So
It's a
more
good film
Canadian.
though. I do recommend it. It's a good film.
Yeah, I'll check it out at some point. So then after
Yeah.
Prey, then we would go Predator 2,
Yeah.
and obviously Predator. We don't need to speak on Predator. Predator 2, awesome. So, I agree. Totally overlooked movie. Pretty much anything with Bill Paxton in it, I'm game for.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
it. He's one of my favorite actors of all time.
One of two people to be killed by a predator, Terminator, and an alien.
Yeah,
Who's the
it's
other?
pretty insane. But I absolutely love it. I think Danny Glover. Here we go with our little Lethal Weapon wraparound. I thought Danny Glover was great. Gary Busey. How can you go wrong? Gary Busey's fucking awesome as this just crazy government scientist, mercenary type character. I think that whole scene in the meat locker with the flying spin blade thing is just it's so badass. I love that it's what year does it say that it's like 1997 or something? It's like supposed to be the future in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's like
It's mid 90s, but mid 90s from the 80s.
Yeah, I think it's like 97 or something, and it's pretty fun. I love the whole drug lord war going on. I think it's great.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? So that was the thing with the original two Predators. It was the heat that would bring the Predators. Like, that was actually part of the law, because it was the heat that would. Oh yeah. So that's what it is. Because if you remember right, so in the original Predator, they're in the jungle and it's like scorching heat. And if you watch Predator 2, they keep reporting it. Massive heat wave, and it is LA, isn't it? Massive heat wave in LA. That's part of the original law. Like, that's what attracts the predator. I don't know if it's because it's the pheromones or whatever, but that's actually part of it. So when you watch every other film afterwards, it makes no sense.
So does that completely dispel Predator vs. Alien, which is like in Antarctica or something?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look at the fucking Predator. I know we've shitted on it, but so the original Predator movies, the reason they ripped the spine out was because it was a trophy. Apparently, it's not. According to the Predator, it's because they want our DNA. They want our DNA because I don't want to watch the Predator again, but they wanted our DNA to incorporate into their own DNA to climatize themselves to the planet where they've predicted is going to be uninhabitable soon. So what's the point? I fucking hate that movie.
Well, how cool is the cameo of the alien skull in the ship at the Predator 2? That was a really wink at the audience too. I thought that was really awesome. Yeah, I really love Predator 2. It's one of those movies that, like, when it was on, you could just watch it from any point forward, and I thought it was great. I thought Stephen Hopkins was the director on that, and he directed
Elm Street 5.
Elm Street 5, yeah. So this would have been like right after, I think, or soon after Elm Street 5. So, yeah, I love Predator 2. This is probably the longest answer to a question ever that we've given.
We are asking
this too. I didn't want your thoughts on all of them, just that. But yeah, and then Maria Conchita Alonso, I think she's the female in Predator 2. She was kind of the girl in a lot of these action movies. She was in Running Man, and yeah,
I love Running Man.
Me too. That's one of my favorite.
Great soundtrack. Top 5. Oh yeah, my top 5 Annie movies. That's in it easily.
It's so good. Rest in peace to Jim Brown. Who was it? Yeah, it was Jim Brown, right? The football player. He's like one of the hunters in Running Man. He played Sub-Zero. No, he played
No.
not the singing guy. I can't remember what his character's name was, but
Oh, you got Professor Sub-Zero, which, fun fact, that's where Mortal Kombat got the name Sub-Zero from. Legit.
that was played by the Tonga.
Yoro Tanaka
Yeah, Tanaka.
from fucking Goldfinger. Played Objob.
Right. Then you had like the symphony singing guy who looked like a light bright.
Oh, he was in fucking. He's been in a couple of movies. He was in Stir Crazy with Gene Wilder and Pryor, and he was in the Wanderers. He played the leader of the Baldies.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then what were the other hunter guys?
Jesse Ventura was in it.
Right. Captain Freedom. You can't go wrong.
Captain Freedom.
God, I'm blanking on Jim Brown's name in the movie, but he was.
Yeah, he was the blonde one, wasn't he?
No, he's the black one.
Oh, fucking Fireball.
Fireball.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think he was blonde.
No, I'm thinking of the other guy with the chainsaw.
Oh, right. Yeah, the mustache.
Yeah, I'm not an American football fan, Paul. Shocking.
I'm not either.
And and obviously Greatest Predator 1. I mean, we'll probably do a full review on it on here one day, but yeah, just great movie. It's between that and T2 for being my favorite Arnie movie. It's so close.
Really? Over Twins? Okay.
Yeah, man. So oh god. So yeah, so that's our ranking. So cool. Have you ever seen this, Paul? Speaking of James Franco, have you ever watched Pineapple Express?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Love Pineapple Express. That's the thing. I think, we talk all this crap about the Halloween movies. Well, yeah, they were fucking horrible. These last three, they're fucking horrible. They just progressively got worse and worse and worse. I didn't even see Halloween Ends. I just wasn't going to be duped into just watching that crap.
I just told you about it.
Yeah, exactly. And our good friends over at The Slaughtered Lamb, I listened to their take on it, and that's more than enough entertainment for me and enough for me to be like, nope, not going to watch it. The only part of the recent Halloween movies I even gave two shits about were, I guess it would be Halloween Kills. Is that the second one? Because I like Anthony Michael Hall a lot. I met him at a convention last year and kind of briefly joked about it. And he was like, I know, Halloween dies tonight. Like, hey, look, like, it's, like even he knew that it was.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what he was. But he was so cool. He was like one of the nicest guys I've met. So I love Anthony Michael Hall. I would have much preferred for like them to have that Tommy Doyle character. I would have loved for that to have kind of turned into this Michael clone kind of character, which I guess this fucking Corey character turned into, and I thought it was just ridiculous. But no, like the two, like the gay couple in Halloween Kills, Michael McDonald,
Big John, Little John,
and Scott McDonald.
They was actually my favorite characters in that movie.
They're the best part, easily the best part. And so you see what happens to them, you're like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't care.
It was actually likable.
Yeah, and funny. Like,
stupid. And it wasn't stupid because the rest of the town was just fucking idiots.
Right. Yeah. The one who, Michael McDonald, a lot of people may recognize him as one of the main cast members of Mad TV. Hilarious. And then Scott McAllister, I thought, I think that's his name, Scott McAllister. Yeah, he's great. He's in the first season of Righteous Gemstones, and they're the best part of that. So with that is what I'm saying is the director, whose name I'm blanking on at the moment, but it's same director as Pineapple Express.
Right.
Okay, and I think he's great at comedy. I think he does really good comedy. I think that he shouldn't do horror anymore. Like, it doesn't work for me. I think he does great drama as well. He did a movie called Snow Angels with Sam Rockwell, independent film. I thought that's one of my favorite movies. But I love Pineapple Express. It's one of the most quotable movies I can think of. I just absolutely love it. Every now and then I find myself quoting something from Pineapple Express like almost weekly. So absolutely love Pineapple Express. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Even if you don't smoke weed, you might have known somebody who did smoke weed or does smoke weed. Like, it's very relatable.
I've never smoked, but I know a lot of people. I've been offered it plenty of times, but I know a lot of people that does. And when I watch Pineapple Express, I'm like, yeah, that's like so and so.
It's so good, and it's shot in such a funny, like, David Gordon Green, that's his name. So he has like such a style to him when he's doing comedy, and I think it lends itself I think his style of work lends itself so much more to a comedic type of film than it does to, just, again, we don't need tracking shots of Michael walking down towards a house. Like, I get it, that's impressive. That's a cool one shot. I think that's cool. Don't want to see fucking Michael Myers. Like, tension is gone. All the tension is gone. And then, thinking of that first Halloween movie that he did, what kind of maximum security prison, hospital, whatever, is going to allow two jerk-offs like yourself and me, podcasters or whatever, to come into a maximum security hospital facility and not check their bags, not see the, like, oh, you have his mask, that could possibly trigger him, not check that. Fucking horrible. One of the worst. I don't know what's worse.
Going next week.
But we're going to the Hatfield Sanitarium prison. I hated that movie.
I didn't mind the first one.
The only good character is Hawkins, the old police guy who gets punctured in the neck by the fake Loomis Zartan, whatever. My brother and I were like laughing when that fake Loomis doctor, does the big heel turn. I remember, like, he like puts on the mask. I'm like, what is happening here? This is so stupid. Oh my God.
I would love to get your brother on the show one day. I'm sure he's got plenty of thoughts on the movies of today.
Yeah. But yeah, again, to answer the question, love Pineapple Express. It's so funny.
Will Patton's the actor.
Will Patton, yes. Who's amazing. Actor. If you get a chance, I highly recommend the Swamp Thing TV series. Featuring Derek Mears as Swamp Thing. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And he's like the main bad guy and throughout the series. They only did one season, and it's amazing. I was able to watch it pretty much all the way through. I mean, it's that good. It's sad that it got canceled. There's even like an Ian Ziering is in that as like a supporting character midway through, and I loved it. I had zero complaints. I think Virginia Madsen is also she plays Will Patton's wife. You'd remember her as the lead in Candyman.
Yeah.
The Swamp Thing TV series is fucking awesome.
After it's like that's the only problem with some TV shows. I want to watch them, but then I realize they've been cancelled, so I can't watch them. I've heard nothing but great things about the Daredevil TV series that was on Netflix.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's no point watching it because it's coming to Disney, but Disney's basically rebooting it.
yeah. Same thing with
It-
Punisher, the Punisher movie or the Punisher TV series. I'm sorry, like that was really that was great. John Bernthal, he's amazing. But obviously, with all the like shootings that happen in America, that's like a really tough production to keep going, you know. So
Right, we'll do a couple more. We've gone a little bit longer than what we thought we would. We've
I
gone longer
know.
than what we're on camera for because we was talking about 15 minutes before we went live.
Yeah,
I watched the old school Batman as a kid. Adam West is the best Batman to this day.
fair
Do
enough.
you want to rank our Batmans?
Okay, we will rank them, and I agree. I love Adam West. I personally don't think he's the best Batman, but he's up there because that's the Batman that I grew up with as well. Seeing the reruns of the Batman TV series, which I absolutely love. I do think Frank Gorshin is the best Riddler by far, but that's just me.
All right, we'll go live. We'll go live action. So no Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. Right, West. It's got to be George Clooney, isn't it?
Yeah.
In his defense, I actually liked him as Bruce Wayne, but he wasn't a good Batman.
Totally works as Bruce Wayne. Didn't work for me. For a lot of people, nipples and cob piece notwithstanding, just didn't. Yeah, not the best Batman at all.
Fun fact as well. I interviewed Chris Casamassa. The reason he didn't return a Scorpion for Annihilation, he was actually Clooney's stunt double in Batman and Robin.
Oh wow!
So he said it was like a childhood dream. He said, "How many people gets to be able to put on the Batsuit?"
That's
especially
true.
At that time, there was only so many movies.
That's true. Actually, in Batman and Robin, which also Joel Schumacher directed, there's a very brief blink and you miss him Corey Haim cameo. As he's in the biker gang.
Right. I know Jesse Ventura is one of the guards at the beginning.
Yeah. But are you thinking Batman and Robin? Are you thinking Batman Forever?
No, Batman and Robin with
okay. Batman and Robin. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Jesse Ventura. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's one of the guards. But this is like Corey Haim doesn't even get a line in it. It's just like a panning shot of this right there. Like, so little shout out to Corey Haim. Rest in peace as well. So yeah, Clooney would be the worst or the last. You can't say worst. I guess he can, but like he would be the last choice.
One. All right, let's put them on the table first. So Clooney's last, and I love George Clooney.
I think next would be somewhere in the line of the three-way tie between Pattinson, Val Kilmer, and Ben Affleck. They're all kind of interchangeable for me. I think I grew up with the Val Kilmer one. I saw it at the theater. I enjoyed it. I can't say I'm a huge fan of the newest Batman with Robert Pattinson. I didn't mind it, but it didn't do anything different for me. I just didn't really care. It's kind of emo.
It was, he's the opposite to Clooney. Where Clooney was a good Bruce Wayne and a bad Batman, Pattinson's the opposite. Pattinson made a good Batman, but a terrible Bruce Wayne. Like, I know they was going for a younger Bruce Wayne, like he was in his second year being Batman. And it's a good movie. I still haven't actually finished it. I'm 2/3 through it. Every time I go to finish it,
and I like Robert Pattinson. I don't mind him. I think he's a solid actor.
Yeah.
For me.
Now a lot of people can be screaming and be like, "Oh, you got to put Val Kilmer there." I actually loved Val Kilmer in Batman Forever. Batman Forever is a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah. Same here.
And
where would you rank? Yeah, Ben Affleck.
we're gonna get a lot of hate. If me personally, I would say Patterson's next. We're gonna get a lot of hate.
So you would go Clooney,
Patterson. I would
right?
go
Then
Clooney, Patterson, Kilmer, then
Affleck.
Affleck.
Oh, see, I would go Affleck, Kilmer.
Yeah, that's the one that's tough because I love Val Kilmer, you see, as well. I was telling my son the other day about, I know we're on tangent, I was telling him about Tombstone and he played Doc Holliday, and I'm like, he's
Yeah.
awesome in that movie. Um,
There's a making of documentary on Tombstone on YouTube that's pretty phenomenal. It's just disastrous to make that movie. A lot of
yeah,
drama.
no. They said if it wasn't for
Um,
Kurt Russell, that film would never have got made.
I didn't. It's not that I didn't mind Ben Affleck as Batman, but it was just because he was in movies that were kind of like an ensemble, and there was just all these fucking superheroes, and there was just all this shit.
Yeah, he
It's like
never had a standalone.
I would have liked to seen him in like kind of a standalone. I'd probably have a different opinion, but
Go on then. I agree with that then, and I love Ben Affleck. We'll go Affleck, then we'll go Kilmer.
yeah, I just thought Kilmer really did. I thought it worked, and it was a tough shoe to follow coming off the heels of Michael Keaton. You know, like that's pretty fucking tough. And they wanted Kilmer back, but then I guess there's two sides to the story. Well, apparently it was like Kilmer wanted to do it, but he was committed to another project, and then like Warner Brothers was like, well, we're gonna make it anyways, and like just wanted to go ahead and just do it. And he was like, well, I can't do it then. Like, I'm not available. And then like Joel Schumacher is saying that like they just didn't say anything and just kind of went quiet and wouldn't like communicate with them. And so they were like, well, we're moving forward then. But Val Kilmer was wanting to do it. And he was like surprised that they didn't work around his schedule. I don't know. It's weird. So he wanted to do it. So yeah, I would say Val Kilmer. Then
so we got Adam
we're also
West,
forgetting
Bale,
Adam West
Keaton.
here. We're forgetting Adam West here. You know, which
is Adam West getting the free ride just because like of nostalgia? I mean, all these movies are nostalgia now. They're so fucking old, but
I did see something that was, without Adam West, without his Batman, we would have never had the Batmans that we're listing right now, because he was so campy and he was, in a very friendly color. He was like kind of like very much the comic book Batman with the gray and the blue and, the fucking dancing and all this kind of stuff. And he's just so like cheesy, just fun, that without that, there wouldn't have been like a complete 180 to make it like the Dark Knight, So maybe he does get a free pass.
Yeah, we'll give him third. Right, this is the toughie now, Keaton or Bale, and I think this is the debate for a lot of people. I know a lot of people loves Patterson as the new Batman. I haven't finished it yet, but I have enjoyed it. It's going to be interesting going forward what he does. But I know Affleck's done a couple of films, but as for standalone Batman movies, these are the only two guys that's actually made more than one standalone Batman movie.
Right.
I love Batman, the original, and I fucking love Batman Returns. I think it's a very underrated movie.
Yep, I agree. For me, it's Christian Bale second, Michael Keaton first.
Well, Michael Keaton's coming back for the Flash movie, so...
Yeah, I won't watch the Flash movie, though. I love Michael Keaton, and I love him as Batman, but I can't do these massive ensembles.
All right. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, this is so tough.
It's almost a tie, but I just,
See, the thing is, and I've said to you, so I love Batman the Animated Series, the original series. Sure. In the 90s, you know what I mean? And I love that aesthetic where it's kind of like a noir sort of setting. But I know with Tim Burton movies, there was more gothic, and it worked so well with that setting. As in, the Dark Knight trilogy is more modern. Fuck.
I give the nod to Michael Keaton simply because the Batman voice that Christian Bale did is so easily parody. Like
that's true.
It's a little ridiculous, right? I don't mind it, and I understood why he, apparently because like it was such an uncomfortable experience in the cowl and the mask, and like it kind of started to like enrage him, and like it kind of started to develop. But it's kind of funny.
I'm leaning more towards Keaton now. And don't get me wrong, I love the Dark Knight trilogy. Obviously, Heath Ledger's Joker, it's a masterpiece, and it'll always be remembered. Dark Knight, in my opinion, is the greatest superhero movie of all time. It's one of my favorite movies in general.
The third one's kind of long and tedious.
It's not as good as the other two. And I enjoy Batman Begins as well, but
I very much prefer Batman. Tom Hardy's Bane to nothing against Jeep Swenson. Sorry, rest in peace, big man. But that was so just hokey at that point. Right? So,
I will put love Christian Bale. I'll put him at number 2. It's close, but Michael Keaton I thought played it perfect, and I love Batman Returns. For favorite Batman movies, Batman for Dark Knight is number 1. Batman Returns for me could be number 2 because I love that movie and I think it's very, very underrated. Danny DeVito's great as the Penguin. Michelle Pfeiffer's perfect as Catwoman.
Chris Walken, come on. You got Chris Walken in there. You got young Leatherface in there as well.
Why are you dressed up as Batman? Because he is Batman, you moron.
so good. But yeah, it's a neat little. Andrew Bryanarski is the son of Max Schreck.
Yeah, Chip.
Chip, that's right. Yeah, so that was before Longest Yard. Or not the Longest Yard. I'm sorry. The Program.
Oh right.
And then also, obviously,
in Street Fighter.
Yeah, he was Zangief in Street Fighter, and
the transformation's amazing.
And I thought he was one of the best, if not, he was great as Leatherface. So, there we have it. Cool. We got time for what? One more question? One or two more questions, and then we're going to watch the movie.
I think we're actually catching up on because people talk about Batman. So, no way, James. So, people saying Bale's it's hard to make it like between Bale and Keaton. It's that close, but I don't know if it's nostalgia. But I love the first 2 Batman movies. That was they was my childhood. That and the series.
Yeah. I saw the Michael Keaton Batman at the cinema. I saw the second one at the cinema. A buddy of mine, Doug Jones, appears as the clown, the flipping clown who steals the baby in Batman Returns.
Oh no! So, right, I don't think it's the same. Is it the same actor? Because that guy's the one who played fucking Luther in Always Sunny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different clown. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is a different actor. No, but Doug Jones does appear as a clown in Batman Returns.
I know you mean Doug Jones, great actor.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I remember. You're right. He is the imprisoned father in Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny.
I think he's the one that hands the baby off to the Penguin.
That's right. Yeah. And obviously you've got flipping Pee Wee Herman plays
the first
at the beginning.
Right?
What's his name again?
Paul Rubin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is for me. Like some people's not the biggest fan of Tim Burton films, but I think it just goes perfect with Batman, like that gothic look. And fuck, man, if you can count Die Hard as a Christmas movie, you can count Batman Returns as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I agree. And shout out, rest in peace to Dave Lee, one of y'all's own UK guy. He was the fight double for Michael Keaton in those first two films. He passed away either earlier this year or last year, Dave Lee. And people who are familiar with a movie we've covered on CineMarks, actually, we haven't covered this yet. I'm sorry. But we will at some point, I'm sure. Double Impact. Dave Lee was in Double Impact as the kind of aggressive student inside of Chad's karate studio with the pastel, who's like, "You want to see my kicks? Yeah, you want to see my kicks?" Ah! And he gets like knocked out. Like that was Dave Lee, and that was he was the one who is the fight double for Michael Keaton in Batman, in the first two Batman. So
cool. All right, we'll do our last couple then. Godly Chris, thank you. Why did you think they never done Freddy v Jason 2? I know why. Have you ever seen the production time for the first Freddy v Jason? That gives you your answer. Man, that movie was in development hell for like fucking 13 years.
I mean, that's a good question, though. It makes sense because Freddy vs. Jason did really good numbers. It did really well. I think it's considered the highest grossing of either franchise.
I don't know about the remakes. But yeah, Freddy v Jason done super well. So studio rights. So one of the original planned endings. Oh, you're another Canadian.
It's very Canadian.
Them movies in like the mid 2000s. That's all what it was Canadian. Well, lots of Canadian subscribers has left us, by the way. We're not saying this ain't derogatory. We love your movies. So there was loads of different ideas pitched for Freddy v Jason, not just concept scripts, but endings. One of the endings planned was some chains would come out from the fucking ground and Freddy and Jason down to hell. And you'll see Pinhead and you'll say, you know, do we have a problem here? There was the biggest one was that it was going to be Freddy v Jason 3, Ash Williams from Evil Dead.
I heard that one, yeah.
They eventually turned that into a comic. Not bad. I don't read comics, but I read the reviews on like someone made it into like a YouTube thing where someone would read it out and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
There was two. There was Freddy v Jason v Ash. Then there was a sequel, Freddy v Jason v Ash, The Nightmare Warriors. And it'll be these previous survivors from like the Nightmare and Friday franchises.
Oh, I see.
Which I'm a big fan of that idea. I've mentioned to you my script I would like to do for a Nightmare movie, and two of them characters are in it. So yeah, and I think basically just studios, disagreements, scripts, and stuff like that. That's why we never got it, which is a shame.
Also, the Jason character, the rights to that have been in kind of like a real develop, like a real hustle, like just the rights. I think that's just recently over the last year or so been sort of ironed out a little bit to where we're going to get a Crystal Lake series apparently is being done. So that could have had something to do with, you know, that getting stuck in the mud as well. Did you ever hear the rumor about, and I wish I would have asked him this, I wish I would have known, because I saw Freddy vs. Jason. I saw the world premiere. I was at the world premiere for Freddy vs. Jason. They actually did it in Austin with the main players there, like, you know, Robert Englund, Ken Kirsinger, Sean Cunningham, Ronnie Yu, and they had this big inflatable.
Sean Cunningham is overrated.
Okay, but you know, without him, we wouldn't have Friday the 13th. But they had this big.
But with him, we got Jason Goes to Hell. So
I agree, which is definitely the worst of the whole series. We'll rank those some other time. But I saw Freddy vs. Jason before I left to go to like OVW and then like WWE, whatever. But there's like apparently Rey Mysterio was a stunt player as like the Freddy jumping up on the what's that called?
pier.
The pier, yeah, of the lake at the end. It's like, and like, I'm just kicking. I'm
That's
like,
him.
I wish I would have fucking asked him that. Like, I asked him about that. Like, I had no clue. You know, it's like it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it looks it. Like, if you see it now, it's like, yeah, you can kind of
Is
see
it?
that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I would have loved to have picked his brain about that. Even when I was with him at Lucha Underground, I never fucking didn't even think to ask him about that. It's like, oh. Next time I see him, though,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
Rumham. Hey, we
rum
haven't seen you
ham
for a while.
crossover.
Cast Paul London as Nightwing in a New Order storyline where Nightwing is aged and is the leader of a paramilitary group, making superheroes illegal. It's an interesting story.
Let's get Rum Ham on board here. Let's start writing this script, Rum Ham. I'm with it. I love it. Great idea. Thank you. I'm serious. I'm all for it. I'm like,
I'll tell you,
yeah.
man, we're going to grow this channel, get a GoFundMe, and, you know, start some sort of movie. We've got plenty of ideas of movies, so
Absolutely.
got too many movie ideas.
I like this thought process.
Oh, honestly, like, I know we said I can write a movie, but honestly, looking at what's out today, I think we could do all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, we'll find our last one. Let's just see here. Someone saying no super chats, not tonight. Get your 3 questions now before we start go monetized.
That's it.
I'm trying to think. Loads of Freddy questions, but I'm going to try and get something what's not Freddy. Paul gives off. Oh, not that one. Dick Grayson 5. Yep. Cass James as Juggernaut. Let's see.
That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah,
Who is that? That was one of y'all's too, wasn't it? What's his name?
Finney Jones.
Finney Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big ex.
Did you ever see that movie, Midnight Meat Train?
I haven't.
It's like a very early Bradley Cooper movie, and it's really pretty good. It's a horror film. Finney Jones is like the crazy killer in the subway car.
I've heard of
Midnight Meat Train. I recommend it. It's actually a really good watch.
All right, this is a great question, Lily. Go for this one. What's your favorite movie twist?
Fuck.
That's a good question.
I mean, like the obvious answer would be like Sixth Sense. You know what I mean? That was kind of.
I remember that film for.
Yeah. Well, that and I think the incredible Donnie Wahlberg performance, where you're like, that was Donnie Wahlberg? Like, what the fuck? Right? Are you confused? Did you not know that he's in that movie?
Oh, yeah, now if I'm thinking back, he must have been the one who killed Bruce Willis then.
No, he's the fucking, like, skinny, decrepit, like, guy at the beginning.
Who killed Bruce Willis?
Did he kill Bruce Willis?
Well, Bruce Willis is in the movie. It's about him. He's a ghost all the time.
I know. I'm saying, like, Donnie Wahlberg is, like, the, like, anorexic-looking, sickly...
Pointing the gun?
Is he pointing the gun? Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because the film starts off... Now I look at it now in my mind's eye. Yeah, it's Danny Wahlberg. Or Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And you think he shot someone. You think he shot Bruce Willis, but you think Bruce Willis is still alive because
that's
you're
right.
following his story. But I'm guessing he actually killed Bruce Willis in that point.
That's right. But in twist, I don't know. Go ahead. I mean, that's just off the top of my head, but
I mean, if it's I count it as a twist, especially back in the day. Darth Vader revealing to be Luke's father. That's a twist because you think Darth Vader killed his father.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe Jaws the Revenge. The fact that the shark somehow exploded at the end of part one, and somehow came back for a couple more films, and then swam its way all around to the Florida Keys or the Bahamas or whatever. Like that's pretty shocking to me. I didn't fucking see that coming.
Wasn't there like a freedom curse put on the family?
The Brody family?
Yeah, it was like, so I don't know if it's like deleted scenes or like the novelization of the movie. And someone put like a curse on the Brody family. That's why the shark was able.
How did these sharks just keep giving birth? Are they from the same family? Is it like, what the hell? How did the fucking, how? Well, I don't know.
That film is so stupid because it kills the youngest son at the beginning.
It's such a traumatizing scene for me.
The mother's devastated, and obviously there's a son. So instead of like, they decide to leave. So instead of going, to fucking Texas, for example, in the desert, they decide to go to the fucking Barbados or somewhere.
Yeah.
Surrounded by ocean.
Then you wouldn't have Michael Caine, Come on. I agree. Lance Guest is awesome in that movie, though. Actually, that's another twist at the end of that fucking movie. At the end of Jaws Revenge, when Mario Van Peebles is like bit in half. Yeah. And then he's alive at the end. He's somehow still alive. It's like the upper half of his body is like floating. He's like, hey, Michael! Or whatever, whichever of the older brothers. He's like, hey, I'm okay. It's like, how is he alive? He got bit in half. Super twist.
Twist and Fight Club. That's a good show.
Yeah, that's a good one. Very good.
Shutter Island. You've seen that movie, Paul?
No, I know what you're talking about. DiCaprio. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
There's some films I can only watch once, and that's one of them. There's another good movie. If you watch it once, you can have a good time watching it. Besides that, you can't watch it again. It's called Buried. It's got Ryan Reynolds.
I've heard of it. Yeah, because Buried alive.
Once. Yeah, you can watch it once, but that's it.
Yeah, I figure there's not a whole lot of movement in that, and it would get kind of, yeah.
Right. I think that might be us done, Paul. So, yeah, so this was fun.
Didn't get to your questions. We apologize. We're just over 2 hours now on this thing, so time to go watch some movies and rack up for next time. Stay tuned. We will do this again sometime. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for asking questions. Thank you, James, for staying up so late.
I didn't realize what time it was.
Let's, we could continue. I mean, we could just keep talking about this stuff. Believe me, like, we're such marks that this is just what we love to talk about most of the time. When James and I are messaging back and forth, it's usually about
movies.
Just this. Yeah, just what we're talking about now. It's not usually about, ways to make the other podcasts better or to make we talk about CineMarks and how we can like make it better and stuff like that. So if you guys have suggestions and things that you want to see or things that'll help kind of make the time go by quicker or slower, I don't know, just whatever. Like we value your suggestions and comments. As James says quite often, like and subscribe if you're digging the channel. Spread the word. We will be getting some guests on here soon enough. Again, it's really about scheduling and trying to figure all that out. There's at least a 8-hour difference between where James is at and where I'm at, so take that into account. But yeah, no, thank you for everyone for being here. This is really cool. I don't know what this number is. Jesus, 132 comments.
Okay.
Someone just said we need to answer all of them. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a comment asking if I've seen Fist of the North Star with Gary Daniels. It's funny because that's another one of the films that my buddy Pete Atkins wrote the screenplay to. So hopefully we can get Pete on here sometime so I can pick his brain about Wishmaster, because that's
Oh
favorite.
yeah.
So good.
I like when we get settled. The plan is bring out an episode once a week. So a movie review, one of these, I guess, another one of these, then back to a movie review. That's what we're hoping to get to eventually.
Right.
But obviously, I do my stuff, Paul does his stuff, and we also do Cafe Day Renee as well. So it's getting the schedule right, and we're just so super busy at the minute.
Yeah, I know. We're doing what we can, but we appreciate everyone tuning in. And you could be watching a really boring pay-per-view right now, but instead you're here with us, and we really appreciate it. So very cool. And much love to everybody out there. Thank you for the comments and the questions. And yeah, we'll be back before you know it.
Cool. Well, everyone, thanks, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you at the movies.